Hello, everybody. Welcome to Common Sense Academy. I'm Joe Pometto, Joe the lawyer, your host of Common Sense Academy, the commentator, the watcher of videos, the destroyer of sovereign citizens. I know I'm a couple minutes early, and that's because I am way more tired than I thought I would be at about 9:45 and going from 10 to 11. I don't know if I could do it. So we started here at about 9:52. I'm going to try to go to 30. If you got any questions, come on in. You just want to chat with me. It's going to be a quick live stream, but I like to go live at least once a week. Want to start going live on weekends. It's exhausting with my job. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Joe Dono. Thank you for joining me. Kevin, hey, Barbecue Bob, hey, Tina, thanks for coming in. Kevin, I got your email and your suggestion to watch that video on by Tim Pool where they talk about government. I got a few minutes in. I was just reviewing my emails tonight. That's a good video. You know, hello, Jay Pistella. Hello, Lou. Good evening. I am a barrister. I'm an officer of the Crown. I'm an officer of the Crown. I was sworn in by Queen Elizabeth. I don't know if she realized I was in front of her, but I was. You know, I've touched briefly on the power of the state. I was a political science major, so a lot of what we discussed in college had to do with, you know, the monopoly. Well, I don't want to say a lot of what we discussed, but you know, the nature of government, the philosophy behind government, the reasons for government, you know, Plato's Republic, blah, blah, blah. But really what I think most relevant to that is Thomas Hobbes. If you've ever read Thomas Hobbes' Leviathan, I'd be interested to know. Leviathan really gets into the nature of state power, how states maintain power, and their monopoly over the use of force, and why it's beneficial for a state to have a monopoly over the use of force. It's a fun theoretical question to talk about. It goes directly to what sovereign citizens say, right? Sovereign citizens at their core are, hey, Avarian, thank you very much. Can we do the same time sip? Yeah, no, you're not late. I'm late. It was a late start. Yeah. Tell you what, give me a couple more minutes. I want to wait till we get some more people in. Thank you very much, Avarian, for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. You're not late. I was a late start today. I'm going to go till about 10:30. I want to start going on the weekends because I'll be able to go a lot longer. My weekdays are just jam-packed, and I get pretty exhausted late at night. Like I get finished work at like 6, and you know, I got about like by 8 or 9, like I get pretty tired. Any of you work jobs where you have to get up at like 5 or 6 in the morning, you probably know what I'm going through. So we'll do it in a couple of minutes, Avarian. Thank you very much. I appreciate the super chat. Just to jump back on to what I was talking about, you know, the government itself, a government, I don't know what else you can call it. Those are the most commonly used terms for now. They maintain a monopoly on the use of force, right? So murder is outlawed, assault is outlawed, and the only people who can use force with more or less without retribution is the government itself. So the police, the military, corrections officers, et cetera, and they are supposed to be regulated by the law. There's libertarian theories of government out there, anarchist theories of government that don't want the state to have that monopoly over the use of force. And that's basically what sovereign citizens are saying. At their core, if you had to identify a philosophy that underlines the sovereign citizen movement, besides nonsense and conspiracy, it would be anarchy. They're anarchists. They don't believe that the government should have the ability to, they don't believe the government should have a monopoly on the use of force. They believe that the government should not be able to use force against the citizens. However, really, to get a deep dive on that, I would say read Thomas Hobbes' Leviathan. Leviathan is probably, for practical purposes, perhaps the most influential, informative, and best work on political philosophy out there. It really, really is. No driver's license, no insurance, no registration, still beat the charges. Why? Because of right of travel, not the commercial entity illegally contracting with a private citizen. Okay, tribulation. I don't know what you're talking about. Shelly, you work overnights. See, you work overnight, so your schedule is a little bit different. You're up at night, and then you probably get tired in the morning, right? Adam, how you doing? Hello. Okay, I have a stupid law question from Lou. No question is dumb. I truly believe that. The smartest people ask the dumbest questions. And I totally mean that. I totally mean that. Maybe not the smartest, but the most curious. Okay. I have a silly, stupid law question. My friends and I have wondered, what is the silliest, stupidest law? Is there a real penalty for being a recifist of said law? Gunger, this channel is a joke, but it is mildly amusing. Your comment was mildly amusing, Gunger, and so is your weird name. Like your show. Hope you have more subscribers soon. I got a lot. It's been coming in. I've been doing well. Thank you very much, Douglas. Hobbes wrote during the chaos of the English Civil War. Yeah, the English Civil War in it of itself is incredibly fascinating. And I actually touch on that. So I know I've announced it. I'm writing a book on it's going to be an ebook. I'm only going to charge a couple of dollars. Okay. I think it should be published. All right. By an editor. But the actual process of getting a book published by an editor is ridiculous. So I'm just going to write this ebook on sovereign citizens. I'm going to put it up on Amazon for a couple of dollars. Okay. But I actually reference the English Civil War in that book, and it has to do with posse comitatus. Just a little bit of teaser. Removing the tags on, they say under the penalty of law, do not remove this tag, Lou, except by consumer. I don't know, Lou. You asked me. Somebody asked me before the dumbest law I ever heard of, and here's the. I mean, the truth of the matter is that we I don't want to say we don't study some dumb laws, because we do in law school, but we're taught the laws that are most relevant. So the laws that it is most likely we are going to need to know. We're taught the laws that are most likely that we're going to need to know when we're out there practicing. And frankly, cover like some of the obscene, rare, weird laws out there. So I really can't say. And some of them are just cheap ass. If the stupidest law, I'm trying to think of a really dumb law. I just can't do it. I just can't. I'm sorry, Lou. Nothing pops into my head. I need something. I need to get something in there. Them are just, without conspiracy theories, there would be no sovereign citizens. That's true. You would just have anarchists, which we also have. Antifa, I think Antifa are anarchists. Posse comitatus gave police too much power. They can have anything you have. Yeah, posse comitatus actually has several meanings and interpretations, but yeah, the posse comitatus movement in the 60s and 70s, that's what they called themselves, truly was the beginning of the sovereign citizen movement. I'll watch your videos when I'm bored at work. Thanks, Shell. I'm glad you watch them. Glad you find them entertaining and informative. It's only a penalty for people who sell the mattress. Say, isn't any law unconstitutional law? There are no dumb laws, just the people who pass them. Gary, yes, I agree. Tom, howdy. Thanks for joining us. Adam Henderly, we won the court case when that sovereign citizen dropped off that affidavit at our firehouse. We put on our Class A uniforms to testify, and he failed in court badly. That's got to be an interesting story. I like the way you deal with stupid questions. Thanks, Joe. In color of law means what? I can explain that. Under the color of law, let's look it up real quick. Under color of law. In the United States, the color of law denotes the mere semblance of a legal right, the pretense or appearance of a right, hence an action done under the color of law. So I'll give you an example of something. In color of law, under the color of law are all the same. Joe Donho, what is in a live chat before, so I'm going to just go into it pretty quickly. Is when like a judge signs a warrant to search a house, and the police go and they search a house, and it turns out that the warrant was faulty, that something in the warrant, for whatever legal reason, the warrant was faulty. Well, the police didn't know it was faulty when they were in there searching the house. So even though what they did was not technically legal, when you look back on it, when they were doing it under the color of law. Okay. And what that can do is it can protect them from lawsuits that would come back at them, right? It actually may invalidate their search, but it wouldn't make it so that they broke the law when they did the search. Okay. Sovereign citizens mutate that phrase. Okay. Under the color of law, are you doing it under the color of law, to try to let the courts or the entities that they are defying make it sound like they're not acting with actual legal authority, that they're just acting under perceived legal authority. You can think of color of law as perceived legal authority. No dancing in Utah after midnight. I'll tell you what I think a dumb law is that the bars close at 2 a.m. I mean, I think that's kind of dumb. And the reason I say that is because I've lived in foreign countries where the bars are open all night or much later than 2 a.m. And I don't think it created any additional disturbance. But I don't have statistics to back that up. So crazy law. Well, real law where I live, it's illegal to take wine into a public government meeting. Ha! That may be true in a lot of places. Crazy laws, unlawful to spit in the barbershop. Yeah, those are the ridiculous sort of laws. The so-called blue laws, mostly repealed in most states. Have you been following the Weinstein trial? Also, it's illegal to sell a pickle in North Carolina. What a shot. Bad choke, bad joke. All right, dude. Okay. All right. Black's Law Dictionary. In the state of South Carolina, you can still legally death your wife, not spouse, on the state house steps, sun up to sundown, with a stick no bigger than your thumb. Have you been following Weinstein trial? The penalty came out today, 23 years, get its trial. Now, when would he do his time there? Well, if he's awaiting, I haven't been following it closely, but I'll tell you, if he got 23 years on this case, and then he's going to be tried in another state, he'll start serving those 23 years while that trial is going on. And then at the end of that trial, he would get sentenced. Let's say he gets 10 years. It would be up to that judge whether to stack those 10 years on top of the 23, that's called a consecutive sentence, or the judge could run it concurrent so that he could serve that. It's possible he could serve that 10 years at the same time as that 23 years. However, for two different crimes, the judges generally don't give concurrent. Okay, unless it's like you might get a concurrent sentence if the police come and they search your house and they find guns and drugs and, like, I don't know, illegal notes, illegal dollar bills. They would just give you one sentence. They might convict you all, but that's generally conceived as one crime. But if you had 3 different houses where all that stuff was seized, the courts might view it as 3 separate crimes. I can tell you 2 different acts of, like, sexual assault, like what was going on here. He'd probably get consecutive sentence. So if he goes to trial and gets convicted in California, they'll likely stack that sentence on top of his current sentence. If you enjoy watching basketball, enjoy tonight's game. It's probably the last of the season. No, I don't watch basketball, but yeah, I've been hearing they canceled the St. Patrick's Day parade here in Pittsburgh. I don't even think we have any confirmed cases yet. I'm sure there's cases here, but I don't think they're confirmed. License to practice law is the stupidest law because there is no such law. Every attorney in trial will give you the bar, which is not a license to practice. Dude, I mean, why, like, are you, I don't need sovereign citizens in here, really. You know, uh, ba, 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 ba. If most cops deal with Moors on traffic basic stops the way that you dispatch stupid questions around here, I will bet that we'll. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you. The sovereign citizen mentioned in court, the Canadian Bill of Rights is what he follows, not the American Bill of Rights. What's that even mean? Well, I don't know. He's trying to say Canadian law is what applies and not American law, which goes against what a lot of them say. Bob, in PA, a bar can open 1 hour after closing at 2 a.m. per the PLCB. Are you sure about that, Bob? Well, yeah, they can't, but they can't serve drinks after 2. So that's what I'm referencing. No typo, illegal to take swine to a government meeting, not law. Ha, hilarious. Am I legally able to tell a police officer to F off? Actually, you can. But if you do it too many times and in a threatening manner, you could be charged with something like disorderly conduct, but it's not illegal to just simply tell a police officer to F off. But all the conduct surrounding it could put you at risk, and I really don't advise it. Some conference basketball tournaments are being canceled. NCAA might be played in empty arenas. If there is no St. Patrick's Day parade, that leaves more time in the pub. I know, Tina, that's what me and everybody were saying at work today. We're like, the bar is going to be packed. That might be an even worse place for transmission of the coronavirus. Okay, everybody, I'm sitting here with a glass of Diet Coke. In case you didn't know, Diet Coke is the cure to the coronavirus. So buy a whole bunch of it, spray it all over your house, take a bath in it, and you'll be cured. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Please, that was not legal advice. That was a joke. Diet Coke isn't the cure for anything except for the addictive urge that I get to drink it. So whatever beverage you have, it may be water, it may be wine, it may be Coke, it may be Diet Coke, Cherry Coke. One thing I do like now is you go in a lot of these restaurants and they have those push button Coke machines. You can get like lime Coke Zero or like vanilla cherry lime, vanilla cherry Coke Zero. I love that stuff. I love that stuff. I'm addicted to diet soda. It's terrible, but at least it's not a hardcore drug. Okay, raise your glass in the air. See, I already drank half of my glass. Let's say cheers. Let's say Danka. Let's say salute to Italy, which is ravaged by the coronavirus. I don't know how to say cheers in Chinese. The German chancellor said 70% of the country is going to get hit. Let's pray for Tom Hanks, who apparently got the coronavirus. Let's stay coronavirus and sovereign citizen free. Cheers, because it tastes better when we sip together. Ah, delicious. Chicago isn't coloring the river green. Cheers, James. Maybe that green dye would kill some of the coronavirus. Have I seen the new Jeremy half-whip body cam where he gets off his bike and challenge? Yeah, I did, Tom. I did. I was cracking up. I don't know how Jeremy DeWitt hasn't been punched in the face. I mean, I know the police have like roughed him up a little, but you mess with the wrong person on the road with some road rage and like they'll punch you in the face. And I mean, he's not a big guy. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. I really haven't. Like, I'm just really surprised. Hey everybody, yeah, hit the like button for me. Let's see, wait, there it is. that like button. Hit that for me if you can. NBA just canceled the season? Really? Dang. Holy, wow. I got to look that up. Sorry, hang on. NBA. News. NBA suspends season after player tests positive. Oh, a player got it. Wow. Woo, that's rough. That's a lot of money. Holy heck, that's a lot of dollars. Raider Nation, the Ninth Amendment. Cruel and unusual punishment. Boom, 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 boom. Oh no. The enumeration in the Constitution shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. Da, 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 da. The amendment was introduced during the drafting of the Bill of Rights when some of the founders became concerned that future generations argued that because a certain right was not listed in the Bill of Rights, it did not exist. However, the Ninth has rarely played any role in U.S. constitutional law until the 1980s was considered forgotten or irrelevant. I know, I just touched my face. My beard was wet. Giordano, Corona is not coronavirus. Amen. You know, if Corona was smart, they'd start, well, I don't know what they would do. They're screwed. Let's just say that. Trump just stopped all flights from US and Europe. I saw that. I mean, that's a good move. I mean, come on. We don't need additional infection. Do you think there will be any big lawsuits over the coronavirus? Worst to one, I'm sure there will be something. I'm sure. I can't think of what it will be, but yes, there will be lawsuits, especially when it comes to these people canceling things and money. Yeah, absolutely. Someone has to make a comic about DeWitt and his wife and call it The Adventures of Storch, Toddies, and I'm not going to say that, but I get your point, Lou. That would be funny, except the UK. Did you see the story a while back about Cincinnati judge got convicted and dragged from court? No, but I got to look that up. Cincy judge convicted. Yeah, the Eighth Amendment is cruel and unusual punishment. And when you said Ninth Amendment, that's what come to my mind. Honestly, we didn't learn much about the Ninth Amendment in law school or constitutional law, and I've read very little about it. Now, what it says is the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. So that goes back to maybe a legal argument. The reason I'm speculating here, pure speculation, theorizing. And it's just from this short article that I read, but you know, the founding fathers wrote the Bill of Rights, and that specifically listed certain rights that the people had. Well, the Ninth Amendment was to put in there basically to say, even though we listed only these rights, but it doesn't mean the people don't have other rights, because some jagoff lawyer would come along and say, well, let's say no Ninth Amendment, some jagoff lawyer would come along and say, well, you know, the founders, they listed here, they only listed, 13, 8, whatever. They listed 13 different human rights in this Bill of Rights. And so those are the only ones. And everything else is not a right, because if it was a right, it would be listed here. And so the Ninth Amendment, in my opinion, exists to stop some idiot lawyer from coming along to saying that, or some idiot judge from coming along and denying people their rights on the basis that those rights weren't listed in the Bill of Rights. So it's sort of a clause to protect any rights that are out there that weren't specifically written in, basically telling the people and future generations, look, we're not stopping these other rights. It's just these are the only ones that we took time to list here and now. There may be other ones out there, and you can bring new ones in. That, I believe, is with the thrust of the Ninth Amendment. And I'm just speculating here. The same sovereign citizen crashed in front of my house earlier, right after you, Adam, tell me, what's that story? You testified against a sovereign citizen? NBA is not canceled, it's suspended. The Democrats are afraid the Americans will have a say in the 2020 elections. Yeah. Well, that's interesting because if Corona is still going strong in November, will it affect voter turnout? Is it affecting voter turnout now in the Democratic primary? Jagoff lawyer, there goes the Bar Association convention. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, barbecue Bob. Absolutely. The Constitution is a how-to manual for the states to make new laws. Well, actually, Gary, that's a very unique and interesting way to look at it. And I would say that that's an accurate phrase. Judge Donald Thompson is a real man's man if a judge. Last night, channel surfing, I rewatched Jagged Edge. Ever see that or read the book? No. Jagged Edge. The coronavirus will probably be good for DeWitt's company. Yeah, probably. I mean, that wacky company, I mean, it just blows me away. Corona should start take a bullet for your buddy beer commercial. Absolutely. Yeah, spitting on the sidewalk, I'm sure. Sorry, I have a heart attack to respond to. Say what, Adam? What's going on, man? You okay? You okay? I'd love to hear your whole story with the sovereign citizen. If you want to call in, Adam, let me know. Have you seen where a lawyer asks a witness if that is the person, but it isn't the defendant, it is someone who looks like the defendant? They did a switcheroo. Is that legal? Well, let me tell you about a case that I had. Okay, you guys want to hear a war story? I was representing a defendant who was accused. The story went like this. Victim goes to a bar, gets drunk. It's out of a movie. It's out of a movie, but it's real life. That's why it's in the movie. Okay. So victim goes into a bar, gets drunk, leaves a bar, is walking down a dark alley, is approached by two men. The two men say, "Give me your money." He doesn't respond. So the one guy punches him in the face twice. Victim falls to the ground. He hands these guys the wallet, the little bit of money that he has. Okay. And they walk away. All right. As they're walking away, the victim gets up and follows them and sees the house that they walk into. What a bunch of numbskulls, right? So he calls the police. The police investigate. They go to this house. They find a guy there. The guy is apparently one of the people who robbed him. And then this guy gives up the other guy. The other guy was my client. So the other guy and these two guys are accused of robbery. Now, in order for the police to identify this guy, they went through they did a photo array, a lineup, not an actual lineup like you see in the movie. They did a photo array. So the police got together 8 photos of men who looked sort of similar, okay, and showed them to the victim one by one. And they claimed that he identified my victim in the photo array. So at a pretrial hearing, I called the victim to the stand to testify to the photo array. And here was the interesting thing. You guys are going to love this, and this is why I'm a genius attorney. Okay, this is why I'm a great attorney and why you should hire me. I'm just kidding. But I do think I'm a pretty good attorney, and I'll be creative, and I'm very creative and attentive. So I was looking through the photo array prior to the trial, and my client was, like me, a bald white man, okay? And here was the thing about the photo array. The 8 individuals in the photo array were all white guys, okay? And that's the thing about photo arrays is a photo array cannot be what's called unduly suggestive. So let's say, for instance, before I get back to the story, let's say, for instance, you have a victim of a crime who's beat up by a black man, okay? Well, the police can't put together a photo array with 7 white guys and 1 black guy because, of course, the victim's going to point out the black guy because he's the only black guy in there. That photo array would be unduly suggestive. So if a black guy is the accused defendant, you got to put all 8 of the people in the photo array got to be black guys, okay? Or else that witness's later identification is not accurate. So I was going through the photo array, and I knew that my client was, he like kept a little bit of hair on the sides, like the Friar Tuck. My client was a balding, middle-aged white man. And all of the individuals in the photo array were middle-aged white men, but only one of them was bald. There was a second guy who was like sort of bald. So I filed a motion saying that the photo array was unduly suggestive, and we had a hearing. And they called the witness up there, and I started showing him each photo, and I asked him, I went through the photo array like the police did, and I put the first one before him, and I said, is this the guy who punched you? And he goes, nope, that's not him. Now, the accused was number 5 on the photo array. Okay, that's who the photo of the actual accused defendant was, number 5. So we go to number 2. I show him. I go, is this him? Is this him? No, that's not him. Okay, is this guy? So I go to number 3. I go, is this the guy that punched you? He goes, he looks at me. He goes, he makes his face. And he goes, yep. Oh, yep. That's him. Yep. That's him. That's him. That's your client right over there. This is what the guy did in trial. He goes, that's your client sitting right over there. That's the guy who punched me. I go, really? He goes, yep. I go, you're 100% positive that this is my client here in photo number 3. He goes, yeah. I go, okay. I show him photo number 4. He goes, nope, that's not my guy. I show him photo number 5. He looks at it and he goes, oh, he was just quiet. I go, who's this? Who's this? He goes, oh, that's your client in that picture there. I go, really? Because you just told me you were 100% positive that this guy was my client. Okay. And he says to me, this was great. He says to me, he goes, you ever been beaten up and robbed in an alley before? I go, well, the fact of the matter is no, but I'm the one here asking questions, and you're the one accusing my client of an extremely serious crime. You have no idea what it's like, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as he went off on me like that, he lost all credibility. Okay, and the judge granted my motion. He said that the photo array was unduly suggestive because it only had 2 bald guys, and he identified the 2 bald guys. So it singled out the bald guys, and the judge suppressed it. I end up getting that client. He was facing 6 to 12 years in jail. I ended up getting him a great deal. I can't even remember why I went off on that question. Long live the Magna Carta. Where a lawyer asked the witness if that is the person who did X, but it isn't the defendant, it is someone who looks like the defendant. They did a switcheroo. Yeah, I mean, a switcheroo is absolutely not legal. And you could get in a lot of legal trouble for that. But, identity is a big deal in the courtroom. They knew the Constitution was a living, breathing document. That's why they are amendments. Yeah, that's the general interpretation, Bob. Absolutely. I'm supposed to be in bed by now, but oh well, this info is great and for free. Thank you, Joe. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining me. Anybody who's new to the chat, come on, hit the like button. Right, this is boom. Give it a punch. Hit the like button for me. I got 17. I'm sure there are plenty of cases of mistaken identity. However, these days, DNA doesn't tend to lie. That's true, Gary, but you would be amazed the number of cases where they don't get DNA. We hear about it a lot in sexual assault and rape. And that's because, okay, even there, it's hard to get DNA unless it was like after, or unless you have like, a piece of cloth where the DNA was left or something. But a lot of cases, funny fact, I do a lot of gun cases, and oftentimes DNA isn't left on guns. Washington State governor bans assembly of 250 more people. Can we still protest against the government under the First Amendment? That's a good question. Here's the thing. Most of the amendments, even certain rights, can be overridden when there is a compelling reason. So if the government can justify it with something like reducing the effects of a virus, you may be in trouble. It may not be infringing on your rights. The big storyline issue in Jagged Edge has to do with the DA withholding evidence from discovery. Yeah, that's a Brady violation. That's a constitutional violation. I'm sure he meant client. Yeah, I've been going around every time I mix up my voice now. I go, dang, I just pulled a Joe Biden. And like, my dad, he's a little bit older. I love my dad. He's a great guy, super intelligent. But whenever he mixed something up, I go, you just pulled a Joe Biden. So I apologize, Joe Dono. I probably just pulled a Joe Biden in there, but I think you guys got the thrust of my story. Do they still do the live lineups where they get the other people in the lineup? That's pretty rare, Panda. I don't think they do it often in Pittsburgh. James Smith. My cousin Vinny, where nobody looked anything like the two suspects. That's common sense. Okay. These are always a good time. Sip. We did the sip. Sip, sip, sip. Absolutely. Have you followed Deegan, Van, and Virgo this week? I have not. I've Degen, Van. I did see Van's videos. I'm gonna drop some videos on those. I just shot a new video that I'm gonna drop. It's not from Van. Just full disclosure here. I get a lot. I don't get all my videos from Van, but I get a lot of them. Me and him have chatted, and he gave me the green light to do commentary on his videos. He's a little better at finding the videos, or at least the fresh stuff. He knows the channels to watch and the feeders. Just don't pull a Biden and get hair plugs. It's too late for me, Tom. If tomorrow I had hair, everybody would know I'm a fraud. You know what I mean? The thing with Joe Biden and Donald Trump is they got the hair plugs as they were losing it, okay? And probably like back in the 1980s, so that we don't notice. I mean, we notice, but it's like they never went bald, okay? Joe ain't going to develop hair anytime soon. I promise you that. Pittsburgh cops used to have a sense of law versus justice. I was once at an event at Market Square where a guy was burning a flag with a sign that said, "The Constitution says I can." I hit him. Bob, that's why I love you, brother. Oh, man. I just woke up. It's almost 2:30 a.m. and I get to see my first live chat. Hi, Bonnie. Yeah, I'm usually not going this late. It's 10:30 Eastern time here in Pittsburgh. I want to start going on the weekends because, I actually can stay up and I have some energy. But it's just tougher for me on the weekday. It's just a lot of work. That's all. I work a lot, and it's hard for me to find time to squeeze these in, but I love doing them. Is there really a sovereign citizen, or is just something these idiots claim trying to get out of trouble? No, there is no real sovereign citizen. There is no real citizen who the laws don't apply to. It just doesn't exist. Careful, I've heard Vim Bayon is retired Mossad. Who knows, Lou? I don't know. But me and him have chatted a little bit. Like, we didn't talk on the phone or anything. But he's a nice guy. Van gave me, like I said, basically the green light. And he's mirrored some of my videos, and I give him shout outs here. And he appreciates it. We work well together. Degeneration Nation, same thing. I watch some of his videos, and he makes his stuff really funny. So I suggest both of them. If you own your own island, you can be a sovereign. That's about it. I mean, Gary nailed it. You own your own island, you can be a sovereign citizen. Even then, I think most islands still fall under jurisdiction of certain countries. But the truth is that nobody's really going to mess with you. If you're out there, like, the government's really not going to care. Glad to see you're gaining subscribers. Thank you, Southern Belle. I appreciate it. The last few weeks have been really good. And I've been gaining a lot, and I appreciate it, and I'm feeling the love, and it's a lot of fun. I'm going to keep making more videos, and even though I'm getting demonetized on YouTube, I'm starting to see a little bit of YouTube ad revenue, which is nice. Again, I mean, if all my videos were monetized, the only way really to get all your videos monetized is to make like a kids channel or something, or to just do toys, something completely non-controversial. However, I do think with Sovereign Citizen, I'm demonetized more than the average channel, even one that does politics or something. I get almost pretty much half, and sometimes more than half of my videos are demonetized. But the thing is even if you're demonetized, little YouTube secret here, even if I'm demonetized, so if you have YouTube Premium, I actually get I get a very little tiny bit of money, but it adds up. If hundreds and hundreds of people with YouTube Premium are watching me, it adds up to like a couple dollars. But I'm starting to see a little bit of ad revenue, so it's nice. I appreciate it. I have some people on Patreon, which is really great. I'd like to get to 10,000 subscribers because YouTube gives me this whole studio. I have a beta. It's a YouTube studio, and you can do more things on the studio the more subscribers you have. So the first plateau is 1,000. Once I got 1,000 subscribers, it let me do things like put the little subscribe button down in the corner. It let me go live on my phone. You can't go live on your phone. You can't put that logo in the corner. All kinds of things you can't do until you get 1,000 subscribers. And the same is true of 10,000. And then after 30,000, it really opens up. I mean, that's a long way off, but I appreciate it. Why are you getting demonetized? You don't know. I don't know. But about 50% of my videos get demonetized. Again, I literally have no idea why. I tried to cut out my swear words. I don't think it's just swearing, because sometimes I swear and I get monetized, and sometimes I don't swear and I get demonetized, and sometimes I don't swear and I still get demonetized. So I think it has to do sometimes with the actual content. For a while, it was very extreme. Like YouTube came down with some like tougher rules. I think they were demonetizing all sovereign citizen stuff, but it's loosened up. I think YouTube may have reviewed my channel, being perfectly honest here, and they wanted to make sure maybe that I wasn't somebody espousing sovereign citizen ideology, because I could see them suppressing their videos. But since I'm sort of anti-sovereign citizen, they might I think they're okay with me, but they still demonetize 50% of my videos. I have no idea why. YouTube is against history and facts and pro-sovereign, pro-kitten. Yeah, Joe, it's really too hard to figure out because they don't tell you anything. It's snowing here. What happened to global warming? I don't know, Bonnie. I don't know. It's not snowing in Pittsburgh, though. It's been a very, very mild winter in Pittsburgh. The more that you look like defending the USA, YouTube will go after you. Yeah, it's weird. It's bizarre. When someone says I'm a Moor from Morocco, they should be arrested and processed through ICE. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, sometimes the videos that I do with Moors, they tend to get me demonetized more, but some of them don't. I have no idea why. Why does it matter that you help so many people with your advice? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's nice to make some money off of this. I'd love to do this more and more. So the more money I make, the better. But again, everybody on here is very helpful and generous. I have a Patreon, and I'm starting to get multiple viewers multiple patrons on Patreon. And again, I really feel the love, and it's great. So I'm making a little bit of money. I've had somebody say, "Oh, you have 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, you're rich." It's like, no. 5,000 subscribers, it's like I'm seeing a tiny bit of money. Trust me, I make a lot more money practicing law. But I do watch Virgo. I've never watched Chuck Chase's The Facts. I'll look at it. Chuck Chase's The Facts. I'll have to look into that. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I don't know what warrants demonetization the others. I have no idea. I plugged you on Chuck Chase's The Facts live stream. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to reach out to him. Does he do sovereign stuff, or what's his deal? Reminds me of the movie. This film is not yet rated. I'm very vocal and happy advanced YouTube user. Joe gets the credit for watched ads that I don't see. Thanks, Lou. You're rich in love from us. Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I really enjoy this, and I enjoy interacting with everybody, replying to comments, emails, doing these live streams. It's great. It's a lot of fun. It really, really is. And like I said, I'm getting some love on Patreon. Just an FYI, I'm making an announcement is when the book comes out, and it's actually going to be a pretty healthy book. When the book comes out, it'll be listed for sale. Again, it's not going to be much. It's going to be a couple bucks on Amazon. I'm going to plug it on here. I'm going to talk about it on here. I'd love for everybody to buy a copy. I will make a little bit of money off that, but it's totally going to be worth it. The information that you're going to get for just a couple of dollars. But FYI, if you are a patron for me on Patreon, I am going to give advanced copies of the book away to everyone on Patreon, just FYI. It's an ebook, so it'll be a PDF. But if you are a patron of me on Patreon, you're going to get a free copy of the book. Just FYI. You can be a patron for as low as $1, $2, $3, $5 a month, whatever it is you want to give, just a couple of bucks. But all my patrons, because they're so awesome, they're going to be the book. Yeah, there will be a hardcover version. So Amazon, Amazon's amazing, right? I mean, it's amazing. It's evil. It's crazy. Amazon's wild, but yeah, the ebook is going to be on Amazon, and on Amazon, you'll be able to order a hard copy or an ebook. The hard copy, don't quote me on this, is going to be like a couple dollars more. And obviously, like shipping and handling, if you have Prime, it won't matter. I mean, the book's going to be like $4 or $5 or $6. Like, it's not going to be like, it's not going to be an expensive book. Okay. It's going to be like $4 or $5 or $6. And I think the hard copy will be like a couple dollars more. Bonnie, I do Amazon affiliates. That's, I sell Black Rifle. I'm promoting Black Rifle. So that if you go to any of my videos, that's an Amazon affiliate link through Black Rifle. You can buy Black Rifle. If you go through that link and buy other stuff, though, I believe I can still get a payment for it. And, so I appreciate it. And, just FYI on the Amazon stuff, I earn from qualifying purchases, just being upfront about that. I'm not an actual partner with Amazon or anything like that, but I earn from qualifying purchases. How about Black's Law? Joe Dono, I would do that. I mean, I should do that for the sovereign citizens who watch my videos. The sovereigns, like some guy went through, I don't know if you guys saw, some sovereign just went through and commented on like 10 of my videos. See, I get all the comments. Again, once you get 1,000 viewers, YouTube will organize the comments for me if I want to go through. Some dude went and like blasted that's what the sovereigns do, is they'll go in, they'll watch like 5 of my videos in a row and comment on every one of them. And some guy just did that today. I was cracking up. Am I being detained? Rick, yeah, you're being detained. You are being detained. Absolutely. Chuck actually watched the 4+ hour stream Devin Ray fell asleep in. He does a lot of Sov sick coverage. Okay, I'll check him out for sure, Tina. Thank you. You're a good writer. Read your free PDF. I'm super interested in Sov sit mentality. Thank you, the others. I appreciate it. I have a lot of fun writing, and I try to make it interesting and informative and tell a story at the same time. I think my book is going to be it's going to be a little bit technical. That's impossible to avoid, but I think it's going to be easy reading, and I'm going to make it fun at the same time. I'm going to go through and put jokes in. Also, I'm going to have, I don't know if you guys are, there's a police chief who I'm in contact with, a former police chief, Chief Tuttle, who he comments a lot. He's been on my live streams. The chief is going to write a chapter for me in the book. And I might have a couple other like guest chapters, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. It's going to kind of be like, you're the anti-sovereign citizen Bible. You saw his comments, Jocelyn. Yeah, I'm just like, dude, what do you like? Some of these, this sovereign though, like, was like, it's cool. Like, he was just trying to argue with me, and that, like, I respect that. Like, if you just argue with me, it's the ones who just start swearing and calling names and just like throwing threats at me constantly. I'm like, okay, dude, like, you're gonna threaten me? Like, come on. When I was in the Corps, we had M16A1. I hate black rifles. The coffee is great though. Yeah, I bet you did, Bob. I bet you did. I watch Sob Citizens for the same reason people go to the zoo. Nature is amazing. Here's the crazy. I was talking to like my private investigator. Like, most people know who a sovereign citizens are. It's hilarious. I was talking to my investigator the other day, and he was like, "What'd you do? What were you doing over the weekend?" I was like, "I was making these videos." Like, making videos? What do you make videos on? And I was like, "You heard of sovereign citizens?" Like, are those guys who go into court and try to tell the judge that the law doesn't apply? I was like, that's exactly who they are. It's hilarious. Can I write the foreword as the criminal element for your book? I guess, Lou. Let me know what you want to write. Arpaio knows a lot. Yeah, I bet he does. Exercise the right to travel. I got a good one that involves the right to travel. It's a new video I just made, and I'm going to drop that in tonight. How about a window breaker? Enjoy your channel, Mars PA. Hey, Joe, Mars PA, right down the road from me. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching. Hello, Lynn. Thanks for jumping in. Listen, everyone, I got a late start tonight. And as you can see, maybe I'm visibly starting to appear tired, but I'm pretty tired. And I do got to get up and go to court in the morning. So thank you for the super chats today, Joe Donho and Avarian. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, everyone, for dropping in. I appreciate everyone's time, and I appreciate everyone who's just a viewer. Thank you for coming in and watching. And stay clear of that corona, everybody. Stay clear of the corona. Hollywood legend, actors have COVID-19. I wish we could cut off Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh doesn't have any, like, shut down Pittsburgh airport. Just all travel out of Pittsburgh. Just boom, stay in the city. But that's not going to happen. Here we go. Here we go. This is what I'll be eating. I'll be eating peanuts. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Don't get the coronavirus. Sorry the NBA is canceled, but the NHL is still on, and the NHL is better. Build a wall around Ohio. Absolutely, Bob. Watch hockey or watch my videos, because I can make my videos right here from my house. Good night.